one shot, one chance, one move, one dance, one shot. Brace yourself for the best. One shot.
How about that? An intro so good we accidentally play it twice. Welcome to the PlayVS Overwatch playoffs, the first round of possibly a couple here tonight, it sounds like, if our Saints squad can keep on winning. However, to start things off here, our St. Clair College Overwatch varsity team is going up against the University of Akron, which is notorious for being an absolute thorn in our sides. Of course, my name's Dan Banner, also known as Mr. Danner, is going to be your producer and host here for tonight's action, as we're about to get into the action right away. Going to start things off on Nepal for game number one. Saint's going to be on the right-hand side with, of course, the University of Akron on the left. Introduce our teams here. University of Akron, our opponents. We have Seal and Razael on the tanks. Yukui and Platinum Fox on the DPS. Moxie and Odmian going to be the support players. Then, of course, your St. Clair squad. You have Kale, you have Apostle, you have Imp, Commanda, Prince Wada, and Available as we start getting into this first capture point here on Nepal. As of this very moment anyway, the Saints in control, being along with Kale here for a little bit. Of course, just being able to just constantly fire that Symmetra beam into the tank line of University of Akron, able to kind of keep them at bay for just a second. And overall, just the healing just seems to be maybe a little bit too much here for the side of the University of Akron to try and handle, as we see Imp going right into the front line, going to send the rest of the team of Akron's right into his own team. Saints going to gobble that one up nice and quick, get themselves a quick 20. First capture on the board. So far, so good here for your Saints. We'll be looking to see available here on this May. The ice wall going to be right around the corner, but unfortunately for him, it looks like it's going to be the University of Akron up on the high ground, taking the long way around, the patient way around, which, fair enough, smart play, assuming that since the May was there, that May wall, of course, can just easily separate the team in half before the fight even gets a chance to start. And you'd hate for the fight to go down that quickly. Tails got turrets all over the place, and Tails going to find himself the first elimination. Here comes the Blizzard as well here from Available. Going to allow him and the rest of the Saints go right into the front line, right point blank into the face of the University of Akron. And right now, the Saints are just absolutely destroying Akron in regards to each of these fights. 63% and counting. If just using the amplification matrix from Commanda and then Available's Blizzard, and they're able to take that point nicely. Still plenty of resources on deck here as well, including the Shatter here from Prince Wada. That being said, though, Seal and the rest of the squad here from Akron looking to take the high ground once again. Razael, Yukui, Platinum Fox all have ultimates as well, including, of course, that Blizzard from Platinum Fox. Going to be looking for that in just a second. I'm sure it's going to get launched, but at the same time, Apostle knows this is coming, but it's not going to get gobbled up, but it kind of ends up being a bit of a sacrificial mission here for Platinum Fox, as he gets completely destroyed by using the Blizzard, and it didn't really get to a whole heck of a lot of effect here as we ride along here with Kale once again. Seal's trying to pull up the shield, but it's not going to do a whole heck of a lot of value versus a Symmetra. Granted, yes, Seal was able to take care of Kale, but it does not matter. The rest of the Saints are here. D-Max Apostle still going to make that B.B.B.V.A. work. Just has to deal with Yukui here, and Platinum Fox has arrived, actually. So, with overtime ticking down, the Saints are finally going to fall, with University of Akron taking the first point. But Saints are right on the doorstep. One more good fight can definitely turn this here. That being said, though, here for the Saints, they're going to be kind of stuck for at least a brief moment. They don't exactly have themselves a whole heck of a lot in regards to the resource department. We're going to have the Blizzard and the Application Matrix maybe around the corner, as we do see the Deadeye coming out here from Yukui, more so for a reload, it looks like. Not going to actually find any shots here this time by. Got the charge here from Seal going point blank here into the Saints squad. That is probably quite ill-advised. The Blizzard is going to come out here from Available alongside the Application Matrix. So here comes Saints. So far, so good here with this fight. We see Kale just melting through the tank line. Takes care of 2, takes care of a 3rd. Apostle going to get himself on the board alongside 2 from Prince Wada. This is going to get completely captured. This entire point has been wiped. University of Akron going to lose the first round here for game number 1. Definitely a good start here for St. Clair, and I know they would absolutely love to be able to take a match here off of the University of Akron, especially in a playoff game. I know we've seen, like I was saying before, we've seen Akron in multiple other varsity esports titles, including things like Rainbow Six, and basically they've had our number pretty much every single time they see it. Solid program there with Akron as well, and definitely do some work. That being said, though, a fantastic start here for our Saints squad. Looking for this next part of Nepal. Getting things underway in just a second. We have ourselves a bit of a switch up in regards to team composition as well. Got to keep Kale up on this this metro just for the teleport, and then instantly going for a long-range kind of poke style composition here with the bunker possibility here from Prince Wada on the Orisa. Available on the Ash, Kale on the Hanzo, so of course long-range sniper style kind of play coming out here. But Prince Wada is the lone player on the Saints who's actually going to try and contest this point. That did not go in their favor in the slightest. Apostle is there on the Sigma, but it's still one shield that can just kind of get pushed out aside, and it's not going to work as of this moment. Tried his best. It is kind of beaten and battered here. Kale, however, really trying to put the team on his back here and just turn this fight around. The capture point, however, is going to go over into the favor of the University of Akron. Apostle was just a little bit too slow here to get himself onto this point. So even though this is just a contested battle, it is going to go into the favor of Akron the longer this does end up going down. But eventually, the double kills coming out here with Available and Apostle both finding the tank line, going to allow St. Clair to pick themselves off this point finally, before the percentages on the side of University of Akron really get too high. So nicely done in that regard. Bob is going to be available here for Available, that extra body that you can throw on the point if necessary to just hold the point as our squad then ends up diving on in. We see a bit of a DPS switch in regards to the University of Akron. We see Soldier 76 and then Platinum Fox is going to be on the Junkrat. Just going to start spamming grenades into this bunker of the St. Clair squad. It was definitely a good pick, and going to actually just find Commanda and completely smoke her, and it's going to make Bob come on out here from Available to try to turn this around, but by putting it in that position, it is not going to be available to actually capture the point, so this is going to get flipped over nice and fast. Wada kind of stuck off to the side, not going to be able to contest in the slightest, and right now, University of Akron, they're pushing up, and they're pushing up aggressively as of this moment here. Try and just send Saints basically right back into the spawn point, kind of stuck on the outside looking in. Especially with having a Junkrat here in this position, that is so difficult for the Saints to try and breach because there's just so much splash damage here. Nice little bomb there from Platinum Fox. Did that knock the player off the side? Not quite. Available is going to hang on tight, but by Platinum Fox just basically frontlining it himself is going to end up going down here. Dragon Strike from Kale coming on through alongside a Shatter here from Seal, but it's not going to find very much value. Kale is in a perfect position, just get a perfect flank, open fire here, but a nice little counterplay there from Admian just to be able to bob and weave and keep himself in that fight and win that fight. Prince Wada is going to get the refrag, however, so it's not going to be all for lost. Imp's going to be able to get Kale back up and in the game. So we're all the way up to 65% here on the board for the University of Akron. However, Saints have the control once again. Bunkered up right to our side here. With the long-range poke style, this could be fine as long as they don't take too much free damage from Platinum Fox on that Junkrat, who does have a Rip Tire right around the corner as well. Something we're going to definitely have to keep an eye on as he goes forward here. And it was kind of weird that last team fight where Platinum Fox basically just frontlined it like a tank. Saints just completely actually give up this point without any sort of contest. Nice flank, but it is going to get nothing but utility here for the side of St. Clair, as that invulnerability field is going to keep the Saints alive from that Rip Tire. Gale looking for the flanks once again from the top down. Of course, being able to climb those walls just gets you these really awkward positions that are just so hard to punish. And Gale making the best of it. That being said, though, Saints have to move. They don't exactly have a whole heck of a lot of resources available. Dragon Strike going to come on through. Not going to find anybody as of this moment, though. Apostle is going to be the first one to get it, and he's going to end up using the Flux here to try and use it as a breaching tool, and it's going to work. St. Clair find themselves a double here with Apostle's Flux, and then Kiel and the rest of the Saints going to clean this up right on the 99 mark. So next team fight is going to win this round. I know Saints are looking for this bunker kind of styled composition, but they have to make sure that they're at least on that point. That last one there got basically handed over, gift wrapped in a basket. Because sure, they're taking some shots. However, they're able to get there without anybody actually stopping this point from getting captured here. And KO with a huge start onto Admian, one of the supports taken down, but somebody has a contest here from St. Clair. This time, Apostle is right on target, and Bailable is absolutely popping off here with a pentakill for himself. Absolutely nuts to finish that one off. Holy moly. We said Bailable a couple of times here, but he just absolutely went nuts. Please tell me we're going to see that for the play of the game, and absolutely. Please let us see it here. Where he had himself, this is of course the final fight of the day. That dynamite just did so much AoE damage. Finds himself a triple nice and quick, find the quad, and taking care of Yukui over up on the high ground, who had that attack visor ready to go. So that could have been maybe a part of a glimpse of a comeback there for the University of Akron and get themselves back on that point. Had Yukui been able to just open fire there on the Saints, shuts it down nice and quick, pentakill Bailable. Holy smokes, huge play there to get St. Clair the first game victory here of this best of 5 series. Quickly switch some things around here as that one went a little bit quicker than I was expecting, to say the least here. Nepal was just right on point there for St. Clair. And to be honest, this is just the start of the action here for this St. Clair Saints varsity Overwatch team here today. Because, of course, with these play versus playoffs, it sounds like if you keep on winning, you play up to 3 games here tonight. I didn't realize that going in here today. So we could have ourselves quite the exciting night. And then later on tonight, late at like 10 p.m. Eastern, they also have NECC playoffs happening, and that one's going to be streamed over by NEC Esports, or NECC Esports. But there's so much action here. What a way to kind of finish off your season, so to speak. Like, have an awesome final weekend of action here, especially if NECC finishes this week. I cannot remember if they have one for next week or not, but absolutely crazy start to start things off here for the St. Clair College squad. Looking at the map for game number 2, I see Volskaya Industries being hovered here for it this time by. And of the 2 CP maps available, I think this one is a little bit more liked across the community compared to something like Temple of Anubis or Hanamura, where it just seems like an absolute draw fest over and over again. I'm going to switch things up. This time Saints are going to be on the left side, as we do have a bit of a preference switch for this time by. So yeah, Saints going to start defending here on Volskaya. And mixed results overall. I would say over the past season or so between the 2 leagues, they've been overall pretty solid here on this map. So works out in their favor. This one, of course, would have been picked out by the University of Akron, so they must like this a little bit as well. Just overall, so far so good. I know in regards to specifically analyzing the match there, the first one felt kind of one-sided, of course, and they're on Nepal. Just Saints basically got it, took it, and ran to the point where they had 99. They found themselves in a position where they just needed one more team fight, and they, sure enough, took it rather quickly. That being said, though, game number 2, a whole different beast. That one was actually kind of close. There was a few execution errors, of course, though. I know I had pointed out the fact that the point at one spot was just basically handed over to Akron for free, which one good on Akron to capitalize on that, to be fair, because a lot of people were kind of him and ha trying to decide, should we go into the point and capture, should we battle it out? But no, they just all went for it, and Saints had nothing to answer, oddly enough. But then that finishing team fight there, where the Saints all on the point battling, and it just left Kale and Baleable out on the outsides, and just using the long range to their advantage. A nice little crossfire, and it really paid off there for Baleable, especially that absolutely money dynamite that we saw earlier in that play of the game. Looking like we've got some R's throwing around, so we're going to be hopping into game number 2 in just a second. But before we do, I do want to give a couple thank yous before the game itself. So, big thank you to St. Clair College, the Zeckelman School of Business and Information Technology, St. Clair College Alumni Association, and St. Clair's SRC, Tim Hortons and PC Outlet for sponsoring us here on the St. Clair Saints varsity esports team. Of course, big thank you to everybody tuning in already. Of course, like I was saying before, this is just the start of possibly a bunch of action here for your Saints Overwatch team. So thank you for joining us and supporting the squad, whether they're son, daughter, teammate, or rather classmate, or friend, family member, whatever it happens to be. Thank you for supporting them on their esports endeavors and supporting them here when it definitely means the most in regards to these playoff matches. Okay. So again, ours just being thrown around, just waiting for them to get this one underway here. Taking a look at a couple of other things as well. There seems to be some other people on the bench here for the side of University of Akron as well. No switches happening as of this moment. However, if things maybe start going a little bit sour here for the University of Akron, there is always a possibility, of course, that you can swap players out. So that might be something interesting that we see a little bit later on, but not right away as we're about to hop in to game number 2 here on Volskaya Industries. Main capture point this time by to start things off. This big old platform we see lit up right here. The attacking squad of University of Akron will have to capture this in order to move on a little bit further down the line, all the way down there. When we get to there, I'll definitely point it out. But otherwise, starting all the way over here inside the building. See, University of Akron ready to go on the attack. Meanwhile, the Saints, they get a little bit of free reign, of course, to be able to get themselves all set up into whatever position they please. We do see Apostle up on the rooftops, of course, on that Diva Mech, being able to fly around wherever you need to in short bursts is always nice. Available, going to be sticking to the May this time by as well, being able to just completely separate the team if they do happen to spread themselves out too thin. Definitely going to be something I'll be watching to start things off. Kale's going to be on that McCree, Apostle, of course, on the Diva. Imp is on the tried and true Lucio. Commanda back on the Baptiste, and Prince Wada on the Reinhardt. This University of Akron squad, however, they are moving, and they are moving fast to try and get to this point. Completely catching Baleable off guard to the point where the ice wall, I don't even think was even actually used. Just going to get used right here, right now, and the brawl will ensue right onto the point. The invulnerability field we do see getting plopped down here nice and quick there from Commanda, keeping everybody at least safe from any sort of takedown. But the battle just back and forth. Nobody's really gone down as of this moment. A little bit of a flanking maneuver by Imp, of all people, actually. Maybe the support, but still finds himself in the aggressive position here and there. Prince Wada already has the shatter, and it's going to be him taking care of Rizale for it. Platinum Fox falling as well. This attack from the University of Akron very well might be going down. The Apostle giving chase, completely booping Seal off the point. And Saints are going to be able to full hold here for at least this moment. Still 2 minutes and 50 seconds on the clock. So Akron doesn't have to start worrying, not just yet, but they were able to get themselves some decent ultimate charge, to be fair, but at the same time, so does Saints. Prince Wada, of course, did use that shatter to just kind of seal the deal. Turn that one into their favor. And again, the battle inside Little Quarter, going to stop Baleable from using anything icy. And now we're coming on down. You do see the blizzard coming out here from Baleable, and it's a bit of a messy spot to try and be in. A lot of members of the University of Akron frozen on the bottom floor, but nicely done there from Rizale to keep everybody nice and safe. Dale going to get knocked on his butt, but he's going to be able to keep himself alive. Prince Wada going to be the first casualty here in this fight. Sound barrier from Imp is going to try and keep Saints alive a little bit longer, but here comes the Blizzard from the side of Platinum Fox. Going to force Apostle to bring out that Diva Bomb, but of course, if you are behind a wall, you are A-okay and safe from that. So that ice wall coming out from Platinum Fox was just absolutely expertly played in that situation. One more attempt there with the Deadeye. Kale's going to find himself a double from out of nowhere. Don't even know where he's at necessarily in this position. Apostle, last one alive here, but Prince Wada makes himself back on the field. Granted, it is a 3v1. The Shatter is going to find himself two, might be able to turn this around. However, Seal is going to get himself the double kill, and the Saints finally run out of gas on this defense, as Seal just goes absolutely nuts there with that additional double kill to finish the job. And they're finally going to be able to capture this point.
I'm ready to initiate self-destruct sequence.
Now it's time to charge on through to the second position. If we can take a quick look exactly where we are looking. Of course, right in the corridor of Volskaya Industries. This light up area right here is going to be where all the action is going to be taking place, and we're getting busy really quickly. Rizeo going to go down extremely fast, and this attack on the side of University of Akron going to be completely just slammed on its head. Good little ice wall there from Bailable to slow down Moxie, who is going to be knocked out of the mech. Mech destroyed and kind of stuck in Baby Diva form. So in this position, University of Akron basically with one tank as of right now. Moxie not going to be very useful as of this moment unless they can take the high ground and just opt to use the DPS of that Baby Diva pistol to at least hold things off for a little bit. Battle on the inside, however, let's hop on through. Let's take a look and see. Nice angles, actually, here for the side of the University of Akron. However, not really going to be able to do as much damage as they thought. That Blizzard from Bailable, though, is going to easily freeze too. It's going to force Platinum Fox into the ice block, keep himself safe, but in the meantime, kind of leaves everybody else kind of in a very messy situation. Oddmion up in the top there has been able to keep his entire team alive for the most part, exception of Moxie's Diva Mech, which does get blown up once again, but still surviving, able to eject and keep himself safe for at least a moment. Back to the drawing board for at least a moment. The rest of the University of Akron squad making their way to the high ground, while Rizale is going to be down on the bottom side. We do see him getting walled out, however. It's going to be the vulnerability field alongside Seal's Deadeye, but it's only going to find himself the one elimination. Blizzard on top of Diva Bombs, and right now Saints keeping themselves alive, wiping away this squad here from the University of Akron. Fossil leading the charge. There's nowhere to go, Moxie, at least nowhere to go but up. He's going to prove me wrong in that situation, get himself out of dodge before he gets taken down out of his mech once again. And another good fight, another good Diva Bomb there from Apostle, and just overall solid stuff here from St. Clair to be able to hold on to the second point, but there is still 2 minutes. That's still plenty of time to try and capture this point. Saints definitely have a lot of resources compared to the side of the University of Akron, however. Able going to launch this thing. He's instantly going to get dropped, but it's going to at least get this Blizzard down, which does allow Apostle and the rest of the Saints to just go point blank into the fight for free. We do see a money shatter coming out here from Rizale, hanging on by a thread, but is eventually going to go head-to-head here with Prince Wada and actually win this one, sends him all the way to the wall. And to be fair, this fight has completely fallen out of St. Clair's control. It's all up to Imp and Bailable and Commander to get themselves back to the point as quick as possible. And it's a very awkward position. The capture up in the top there, we do see on the dial, was starting to get captured out a little bit, but Bailable did end up shutting it down. So a very, very close battle, giving the differences and resources. Now Saints have nothing but a Diva Bomb and the sound barrier there from Imp. Of course, more of a defensive ultimate compared to anything else. Where's Prince Wada this time by going to lead the charge. Rizale just gets absolutely demolished before anything even gets the opportunity to go on down. Deadeye coming out from Seal is not going to find any targets, so that's going to be taken off the board. Here comes the Diva Bomb, but it's in a bit of an awkward spot. That wall there from Bailable is going to throw things off as well. And so far, this is actually looking a little bit rough here for St. Clair. The Blizzard is now available. There is no Diva Matrix available, and it's going to barely go into St. Clair's favor at this moment, as long as they can deal with Seal up top. Bailable, nice little shot there with that icicle gun. just have to deal with Moxie. And to be fair, you don't necessarily have to deal with them right away. And Raziel does go down over on the side too, so there is absolutely nobody to try and contest this point. Saints are going to find themselves the hold here on point number 2, and only going to give the 1 point over the University of Akron.
Score 0-1. Switching sides. Initiating.
Now this puts St. Clair in a very comfortable position as long as they can breach this first site rather quickly. Because if they can get this second point should be basically easy, because they don't have to get the full capture now. Of course, you only have to get the first third in order to successfully win game number 2 here. Put themselves up 2-0 in this series, put themselves in a very, very comfortable spot.
Ready for battle.
So just a matter of what do they opt to do to get through this first point as quickly as possible. And we do see a bit of a switch up actually, which is definitely leaning itself to something maybe a little bit more aggressive, and I definitely like that as we hop into the team room here with St. Clair, as we do see Prince Wada going to be taken off of the Reinhardt over to the Winston, and this is a dive composition if I have ever seen it. Just hold down the W key, keep running forward, and just go. Call out targets, knock them down. We've got Imp off of the Lucio over on the Brigitte. Kale is going to be playing the Tracer. Let's hope that my eyes can keep up with all the action that he's going to be able to pull off. Of course, one of the quickest characters here in Overwatch. Saints on the way. We have Bailable also going to be taking to the skies there with the Echo and looking to maybe make the flank play. We'll definitely keep an eye on that in a little bit later. Kale, of course, the quick one of the squad. These pistols don't go very far, but he's able to really close distances nice and quick, as we do see here. Instantly blinking through, of course, does give away that the Tracer is there. And maybe a bit of a hint saying that this is going to be dive. And at the same time here, we do see Bailable. He does find himself in a position to show himself off. He uses the shield there from Prince Wada just a second, and now we're kind of back in action. Prince Wada is going to be the first to fall, however. This may have kind of been shut down a little bit quickly. And it's weird to see a little bit of a different composition coming out here from even the support line as well. Imp was playing a decent amount of break at the start of the season. And to be honest, Commanda, before she was even on this varsity Overwatch team, I believe was basically just strictly an Ana main. So getting the play for old main of sorts here to start things off. Did that sleep dart actually make contact? That was actually a 6 shot. I believe it was onto Seal, the main DPS player of this Akron squad, instantly getting shut down to start this fight, and it's going to allow Bailable to find and make a move onto Platinum Fox. However, a bit of a back and forth. Imp has gone down. Prince Wada just off to the side here. Apostle, of course, may be a tank, but he's got so much charge that it may compensate. And we're going to see Prince Wada go absolutely nuts. Take Omnilon just off the side, sends him out of the invulnerability field as well. Get the nano boost on top of this as well, and we're going to see Prince Wada go absolutely nuts. Just go point blank here with Seal as well. No fear. Takes care of this first point. He did it rather quickly, about the same pace as the side of University of Akron. When we see Bailable, he may only have 100 health, but he is hunting right now, trying to get some additional damage here on top Platinum Fox, but going to be able to get out of dodge just fine. If we do take a look up on the UI itself, on the menu, we do see, of course, the B circle. You see that little orange triangle over on that first third of the circle. That's as far as Saints have to go in order to capture the Sing and win game number 2. Bailable off on the flank, gets exposed pretty quickly, however, going to be forced to evacuate. Admian, though, does go down pretty quickly due to the shots from Kale. The Graviton alongside the extra damage coming out here from Kale is absolutely nuts. Point blank against Seal. Huge shutdown here from Kale to stop that Deadeye. That very well might have gotten a couple of eliminations if that was not attended to. Now Imp on the site. Kale pretty close by as well. Going to try and chase down some of the squishier members of this University of Akron squad. But I think it is going to eventually be shut down here, with Kale being the only one left alive. Going to just dip and dodge out of this one. Going to have the Pulse Bomb available for the next fight, but does not have the Graviton to kind of combo it up with. So it's going to be pretty reliant and pretty heavy onto Kale here to find a good stick, because of course those pulse bombs can stick to your opponent. Find a nice stick onto somebody with not much armor, and that is basically a one-shot. Platinum Fox looking to play the Tracer duel of sorts here with Kale this time by. And right now going up against Available, gonna Available gonna get out of there just in the nick of time. I like the idea of going for something to kind of mess with them from the skies, and to be honest, with them switching to Tracer, it means the only ones who can really deal with Available right now is Seal and Admian. And maybe Yukui as well. He's going to get the flank right there onto the support player, of course, off Admian. And he's going to use the clone. So he's going to dive on in here with Apostle's mech, basically. Going to allow for possibly multiple Diva Bombs if this does end up going through. So we see the rest of the Saints charging on through. Commanda going to be able to casualty. But her death is not going to be in vain as Saints completely break themselves onto this point. And so far are right on the verge of capturing, and they are exactly going to be able to do just that. Catching that first third of the point, and they are going to successfully take game number 2. Amp actually going to find himself the play of the game here on Lucio. You don't see this too often. What did he do? This is one of the first team fights, I think. And sure enough, that was a boop kill, I think? No, didn't get him quite yet, but he did get it the second time around. Did take care of Admian by just completely launching him right off the point. 2 games down, and so far it's just everything St. Clair. Perfectly done for the most part here, as Volskaya just won in their favor nice and quickly, and then alongside how things went on Nepal, outside of, I guess, the second round. I mean, nonetheless, they clutched up in the end, so basically everything so far so good here for St. Clair, with University of Akron just trying to get themselves a dang round here in this match, and they have to find a way to get themselves on the board now. Otherwise, we're going to have ourselves a quick 3-0 here tonight to start off these PlayVS playoffs. Jub in the chat. Danner's best caster, no you. Thank you, though. Havana going to be the pick for this next matchup here, and these guys are going to hop into it nice and quickly as well. A rather comfortable map across majority of the competitive scene, but I know Saints don't mind this for the most part either. So without further ado, let's hop into the action and see if this is going to end up being the decider or not here between St. Clair and the University of Akron in these PlayVS playoffs. Of course, if the Saints win, they keep on playing here tonight. And at the very worst, if their day does happen to finish off here in PlayVS, they still have NECC later on tonight at 10 o'clock. So an absolute fantastic night of Saints Overwatch. Definitely extremely excited here for this one. That being said, though, before I run away real quick, who's going to be on the attack this time by? It is going to be the University of Akron. Let's hop in with Akron actually real quick and see what are they planning on picking out here for us here tonight for this Havana attack. Of course, this time by, instead of working on capture points of sorts, it's all about pushing the cart. So a little bit of a different composition can definitely be used here if we hop out the door. Where's the cart that we're going to be pushing? Here it is. This little red truck here is where we're going to be shoving this thing as far down the street as possible into the storage unit, and of course with the certain checkpoints along the side, able to get some points on the board. And we know the Saints like to get aggressive with these Havana stars, going literally right into the garage door of the University of Akron. Prince Wada literally point blank there with them. They're going to try and make themselves go around here. Let's hop in over and see what's going on over there. We do have a little bit of a switch up here to go down as Prince Wada and Imp find themselves a kill, but Imp going down is going to hurt St. Clair a little bit more. Because, okay, sure, if the Saints do keep killing off Akron here, that's great. Their spawn is literally right there, so without question, the Akron members can just hop right on the side of things. That's a huge wall actually coming out here from Available, instantly taking down Yukui, and it's probably going to result in a few other eliminations as well, as Kale from the outside is just going to mow things over. Now, like I was saying though, with University of Akron, they just need to stop for a second, stop trickling, and just get themselves all to group up and pick a spot together. That'll basically finished a job here. Any death that St. Clair gets in this situation, they have so much farther to run compared to what Akron does. And that's going to be a double kill with the Flame Strike. Saints are just completely shutting them down at the front door. Kale available, and Prince Wada going to find themselves some eliminations in this case. And University of Akron, it feels like they're just kind of ping-ponging between which entrances they're going for, and Saints are calling these out right pretty much every single time. And once again, they trickle out, they don't commit to the attack, and it ends up making them all kind of split up. So Yukui is going to go down again. Moxie is going to be not long for this world either. Baby Diva is just going to be left out to dry for just a second. Apostle going to finish him off there. With 2 minutes and 10 seconds left on the clock, the Saints basically on a disgustingly flawless first push here. And once again, looks like University of Akron is going to switch sides. Saints are already here and ready. And to be fair, the Shield of Raziel does kind of give it away a little bit. Just get everybody outside. Get yourselves an even fight. It's like I was saying before, even if you don't necessarily win this team fight, the second time around is going to work. And they actually use a Symmetra here from Platinum Fox to switch things off here. Here comes Prince Wada, who's going to get himself a nasty shatter alongside the Deadeye here of Kale. He's going to dive on through here from the outside. And once again, yes, Prince Wada does end up going down, but then everybody else on the side of University of Akron is going to drop. Just how fast can they get Prince Wada back here? Because this is the opportunity here for the side of Akron to actually make their move. That being said, though, between Apostle, Bailable, Kale, and then the support line of Commanda and Imp, all still being here, going to be able to get Prince Wada back out here while everybody else is still nice and healthy. And now, the side of University of Akron finally get themselves an even fight, and they just straight up lose it. Apostle, Kale, and Bailable all going to find finishing blows in this case. And Commando's just feeling nice and comfy here in the background as well. Of course, with the Baptiste, you just get everybody to group up with these long-range healing balls, healing shots. Just keeping everybody nice and topped off the entire time without putting herself into harm's way. There's absolutely nothing this University of Akron squad has been able to do to even try and deal with it. Commanda even getting a little bit onto the DPS, nearly taking a few of them down. Vulnerability field goes down. Imp is going to be the casualty here, so it's going to be all up to Commanda to keep this squad all nice and topped off. But as we see, another solid wipe here from St. Clair over and over and over again. Just constantly winning these fights. Can Akron pull themselves together and find themselves a breach? They need to do it here, or else that is going to be possibly the end if this is a single elimination tournament for them in this play versus side of things. Seal's Deadeye is not going to find nothing. That's going to be blocked off by Commanda's invulnerability fields. Can somebody touch the cart? They are going to be able to. That's going to be this Metro Ultimate, this gigantic shield that we see in our way is here from Platinum Fox. Going to try and make things a little bit difficult for Saints to keep on the attack. If somebody from the University of Akron does not stay on this cart, it is toast. That is going to be a two-player shatter coming down here from Prince Wada. Try and turn this fight even more so in St. Clair's favor. A tough spot for the side of University of Akron to try and fight through. As everybody, one by one, trickling in. There's nothing they can do. Raziel is down. The Blizzard comes down from Bailable as well. That is just going to completely shut the door. How the heck do you deal with this one, Akron? St. Clair, complete full hold. Not even a single meter of pushed cart this time by. Perfect defense. Saints literally need to just touch the cart. University of Akron have to try and mirror exactly what St. Clair did, and that is extremely difficult to say the least there. You do not usually see a full hold like that, as I get completely denied by the door. Observing skills absolutely top-notch. We hop into the team room here for St. Clair. They just need to touch it just for one split second. One opportunity, or one quick opportunity, and it'll be definitely nice and clean and quickly done. And Saints looking to move on in these playoffs. The likelihood is definitely in their favor, but I definitely do not want to count chickens before they hatch, but at the same time, this is definitely brutal here from St. Clair. Much as I like to try and keep things neutral, I have to call a spade a spade. And I am willing to say that this defense here from University of Akron is basically going to be impossible. We see they're already on the cart. They're not even in a very comfortable position, but it's where they have to be in order to shut down this push. Apostle and the Wrecking Ball going to get aggressive, looking to charge on in first, dives on in, and is able to push people away too. And Odmion, and the support line's already gone. This is absolutely toast here. St. Clair are going to win this fight. Just have to finish off a couple more members. There's no healing on the side of the University of Akron. Beautiful target selection from St. Clair, and with nobody home for Akron, St. Clair are going to complete this 3-0 victory. Play of the game for Game 3 going over to Bailable. Is this going to be a Blizzard play, or is it going to be something different? That is, in fact, going to be a Blizzard play alongside the Maywall, which did kind of pinch in the tank line, and we see so many members of University of Akron as probably like 3 players all frozen up in that small little corridor. Absolutely nowhere to go, nothing you can do. You can't react. You're absolutely frozen, and beautifully done there from the Saints in general. Nice little play of the game there from Bailable as well, and just so far so good here for this St. Clair squad. Starting things off extremely strong. Hopefully they can keep this going on as far as possible all night here. Because of course there's still possibly at least another 2 more matches, I do believe, if the Saints can keep on winning here in these Play versus Overwatch playoffs. Round 2, not 100% sure where this is going to be scheduled yet. I'm still kind of pinging here with the coaches and the other staff member of the Saints to figure out exactly when that will happen. So I do need a couple things from you guys if you've not done so already. Make sure you follow us here on our Saints Gaming CA Twitch channel. That way you do get notified when the next match does go live, because it could be about a half hour or so from now, or maybe an hour or so. We'll have to see when the next match does end up actually happening, and I do not want you to miss it. Make sure you follow, and make sure to follow our Twitter as well, actually, because it's going to get posted there as well. And I can see, of course, we're on a bit of a delay here, and I'm finally seeing everybody in the chat. The 0-meter hold, the ultimate spawn trap. That's exactly it. The Saints have tried this before with limited success, and it's basically, like, to be frank, it's a skill check, basically. How's your team fighting ability? And how's your communications? Which I mean, of course, basic stuff for esports titles, but when you're in a bit of a tight spot like that, when teams tend to lose it a little bit and everybody wants to be the hero, people try to charge on through, well, the Saints are going to just punish that every single time. You have to stay cool, collected, get out there as a group, and then win the team fight. And to be fair, University of Akron at one point did finally get themselves all grouped up, made the push, but then they just did not have the wherewithal for that team fight. So Saints basically had every box checked there. And to be fair, with the maps being loser pick, unfortunately there for University of Akron, between Nepal being picked, I think that was a St. Clair pick, but the second map there for Volskaya, relatively strong one there for St. Clair for most of the season. Havana, I mean, if they have this bond camp strategy available, you definitely know that they're comfortable here and going to completely shut them down in that regard. So a big thank you for everybody for tuning in to match number 1, and a big thank you to the sponsors that make this all possible, of course, being St. Clair College, Zuckerman School of Business and Information Technology, St. Clair's SRC, Tim Hortons, PC Outlet, and the St. Clair College Alumni Association for all making this possible and being able to have these awesome teams and awesome broadcasts, of course, be able to support the squad as well. And thank you, of course, for everybody for tuning in and supporting the squad. We're not done yet, however. We're just going to be a couple minutes as we wait to figure out when the next matchup is going to end up being Play versus Overwatch Playoffs Round 2 within an hour or so. But again, as soon as we know, we'll pop it up and go back live, and we'll get right into the action. So once again, follow if you have not done so already, and I'll see you in the next one.